Hey yo, this is your boy Post. You're now tuned in to hoodactionnews.com. So I got a couple of things tonight, right? Just relaunched the channel tonight, right? Just want to talk about a couple of things going on, right? A couple of things going on. Got the new logo, got the new merch coming. Is hoodactionnews.com. So yo, let's jump right into this, right? Let's jump right into this. White woman with machete. So yo, let's jump right into it. White woman with machete in California. You know what I mean? So I'm really interested to see what happened with this. I promise you, I don't know what's going on with this yet. All I seen is woman seen brandishing a machete. So let's see what's going on.
Police are looking for a driver who threatened another with a machete during a road rage incident in Sylmar. It's apparently not the first time she's done this. KTLA's Alina Bovian live now in Sylmar with the story. Alina, good morning.
Jess, good morning. Well, this happened on Saturday, and according to some of the people who live in this neighborhood, they say this is not exactly the safest place, so they're not very surprised by this. And if you listen to the video, it's possible that both people live in this neighborhood. Take a look.
What's up? Wow, you followed me.
No, I actually live around here.
I live around here too.
Get away from me then.
You're the one that brought out a knife. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you.
Bring out a knife. Skin you.
You skinned me.
Yo, I'm trying to process this. Let's just process this real quick. Why is a white woman riding around with a machete? Right? Now, she got the glasses on. You know, she probably looked like the typical feminist. So she definitely looked like the typical feminist. She got the glasses on, a scarf, you know what I'm saying? And she riding around with a machete. What do y'all think? And she gonna cut a motherfucker.
For a driver who threatened another with a machete during a road rage incident in Sylmar. It's apparently not the first time she's done this. KTLA's Alina Bovian live now in Sylmar with the story. Alina, good morning.
Jess, good morning. Well, this happened on Saturday, and according to some of the people who live in this neighborhood, they say this is not exactly the safest place, so they're not very surprised by this. And if you listen to the video, it's possible that both people live in this neighborhood. Take a look.
What's up? Wow, you followed me.
No, I actually live around here.
I live around here too.
Get away from me then.
You're the one that brought out a knife. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you.
Bring out a knife. Skin you.
You skinned me.
Damn.
Now, we don't know exactly how all this started, but that's the exchange between the two.
Yo, the craziest thing about this, yo. Shout out to my homegirl. I got a homegirl that look exactly like this. She mixed or whatever, my homegirl. But I sent her this and she said, damn, that look like me. So I got a homegirl that look just like this chick. It's funny as hell, man.
The woman in the vehicle seems to be driving a Toyota 4Runner, an older model, possibly dark, faded green in paint. According to the person who took the video, they say they were threatened by the woman in the truck with a machete. We have muted the audio because there is some foul language, but you can hear both drivers claiming they live in this area. This is Rosales Street and Borden Avenue in Sylmar, just off of Foothill Boulevard. Now, we don't know exactly what led up to the interaction, but we're told.
Look at the machete. Let me take these off. Look at the machete, bro. I'm gonna see. Hold on. Let me go to this view. Bro, look at the machete. Yo. Why are white women crashing out? Why is everybody? I'm gonna be honest with you, yo. I don't want to sound like biased or nothing like that. Everybody is crashing out because we definitely seen this before. You know what I'm saying? Out of black people, but everybody is crashing out. What is she crashing out about? You know what I mean? And what is a machete gonna do if you got a gun? You can't bring a knife to a gunfight. You know what I mean? This look crazy. Like, what is she doing? Yo, Shorty just got a machete though. Like,
That is possibly a case of road rage.
I think we need more police presence, obviously. That's what I would say about that, my thoughts.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
yo, is that illegal? Because it's not a gun, but I guess you can't threat. I guess it's a threat. I'm sitting here trying to think, can she go to jail for that? I think she could just get detained for that because you can't shoot a knife.
In this neighborhood, there's a lot of drug action going on. A couple of streets over from here on Foothill, there's like a whole encampment of homeless people that live in their motorhomes.
Yo, now that's messed up. That if you homeless, you got to be on drugs. And who's to say that this bleach blonde white woman can't be on drugs?
And take a look at this video. The woman in the truck is also seen in this video, a separate incident from February of this year, but in Santa Clarita. Now, we don't know the exact.
Look, there she go again. This the same lady. She got on the sunglasses and she got on the Aunt Your Mama. Yo, she got on the sunglasses and she got on the Aunt Your Mama scarf and she got the machete.
Nature of this incident, but allegedly the woman also was possibly making another threat. Now, back out here live, we reached out to LAPD. They came out here Saturday, took the report, and we're waiting to hear back. That's the very latest. I'm Lena Bourbon reporting live in Sylmar this morning, KTLA 5 News.
They're gonna lock her.
Police are looking.
They're gonna lock her ass up. I'm trying to think where we at in society. It's probably, you know what I'm about to say. It's probably because Donald Trump is the president and nobody like Donald Trump. You know what I mean? And all, like that type of thing, right? Like like a lot of women don't like Donald Trump and stuff like that. A lot of men don't like Donald Trump either. You know what I mean? And I'm not caping for Donald Trump. Let me see something. Yeah, but that's crazy. Since when? Yo, where we at society that white women riding around crashing out with a knife, with a machete? She ain't even got the pocket knife. She just got the machete. She got a whole machete. I want one now. I'm in Philly. I need in Philly, you ever seen the movie Cobra? Fix my mic. In the movie Cobra, where the dude, the axe murderer and Cobra, he got like the joint with spikes on it. That's what you need in Philly. You need the joint with the spikes on it. But that's a little wild. So let's go down to Clark, Atlanta. So Clark, Atlanta. Clark, Atlanta. So this right here, this is an unfortunate situation right here. You know, I could just read the title. Young lady died, but let's try to look at some details on what happened there. I don't know exactly what happened.
Graduates who had gone on to become a college dean of a college in California was shot to death on the campus of Spartan College in Inglewood, California.
Dr. Kamisha Clark received 3 degrees, including her doctorate from Clark Atlanta University. That's where Fox 5's Angelique Proctor joins us now with the story all new at 5. Angelique?
Good afternoon to you both. So many people who knew and loved Dr. Kermisha Clark are just devastated tonight. They say clearly she was a rising star who is just gone too soon. The Clark Atlanta University School of Education just spotlighted Dr. Kermisha Clark on her accomplished career in March. This is their Instagram post about the three-time alumnus who earned her undergraduate, master's, and educational doctorate degree from CAU and was recently promoted to the Dean of Student Affairs at Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology in Inglewood, California. On Friday, everything changed in an instant when police say former Spartan security guard Jesse Fiegro returned to the college in a security clothes and opened fire on Dr. Clark and her assistant in what police call a targeted execution-style shooting.
I came under the lot. We were told that there was an active shooter next door and to get into safety in the shop over here.
Officers say the suspect drove off, but they found him several hours later. And
now, mind you, California is tough on guns. It's hard to get a gun in California. Harder than other states to get a gun in California. Now, even if you were able to have a gun, that's not to say that they would have stopped this maniac from doing what he did. So even if you were able to have a gun, you probably wouldn't be able to stop this maniac.
Took him into custody.
Give great kudos to the Inglewood Police Department, our investigators, and the LAPD officers that were vigilant, took the vehicle description and took him into custody.
Damn.
After 3 days of fighting, Dr. Clark succumbed to her injuries Monday. The second victim is still being treated. Those who knew her described Dr. Clark as a shining star who was driven but also had a sweet spirit. Friends also say Dr. Clark was a strong advocate against gun violence and had started a foundation here in Atlanta to fight the use of firearms called C Squared.
This was not a random act of violence. The suspect and victims knew each other.
And again,
Oh,
the way
hold
they knew
up.
each other is that they all worked.
Hold up. Hold up. Now, I don't want to make light of nobody losing their life. We're not going to do that. But they said the suspect and the victim knew each other. So leave a comment below. How do you think this? Now, I don't see her dating this dude that they showed. I don't see it. You know what I mean? I really don't see it. Maybe she got him fired. What do you think that happened? Leave a comment below of what you think happened in that case. Now that's a spinoff. That's an absolute. That's a crazy spinoff right there. How they knew each other. I'm now when this first came in, I'm thinking that this dude just randomly like barged in. Like this is just like an active nutcase shooter doing some random stuff. But now this is targeted. So what did she do? Now let me go back a little bit. Was he the security guard? Is that what y'all heard? Let me see something. Was my man on security? Let me backtrack a little bit. Let me backtrack a little bit. Let me see what's up here. I'm gonna backtrack.
Recently promoted to the Dean of Student Affairs at Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology in Inglewood, California. On Friday, everything changed in an instant when police say former Spartan security guard Jesse Fiegro returned to the college in a security clothes and opened fire on Dr. Clark and her assistant.
So former security guard, she probably got his motherfucking ass fired. That's what happened. She got him fired. Why was he mad at her? What would a security guard be mad at? Like she probably got him fired. Or she probably curved him. What happened here? What happened here?
in what police call a targeted execution-style shooting.
Probably
I
curved
came
him.
onto the lot. We were told that there was an active shooter next door, and to get into safety in the shop over here.
Officers say the
Damn.
suspect drove off, but they found him several hours later and took him into custody.
Give great kudos to the Inglewood Police Department, our investigators.
Now, let me ask you a question. Why is he alive? Why? Yo, you know what I'm gonna say. Why is he alive? That's what I want to know.
Investigators and the LAPD officers that were vigilant took the vehicle description and took him into custody.
After 3 days of fighting,
Why
Dr.
is my
Clark
man
succumbed
alive?
to her injuries Monday. The second victim is still being treated. Those who knew her described Dr. Clark as a shining star who was driven but also had a sweet spirit. Friends also say Dr. Clark was a strong advocate against gun violence and had started a foundation here in Atlanta to fight the use of firearms called C Squared.
This is not a random act of violence. The suspect and victims knew each other.
And again, the way they knew each other is that they all worked there at the college. I should also mention that Dr. Clark was a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and she was the granddaughter of Dr. Betty Clark, who was on the faculty for many years here at Clark Atlanta, as well as retired interim provost and vice president of academic affairs. We are live from the campus of Clark Atlanta University. Angelique Proctor.
What a devastating loss, and just so sad. Angelique, thanks.
Yo, I don't know what happened with that, but you know we don't want to see nobody lose their life, but I don't know what happened with that. I'm gonna just keep it a man with you. I'm gonna keep it a band with you, fam. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know what would make you, to me. Now, I don't want to speculate, right? Oh, this is alleged, but maybe she got him fired. 'Cause I don't think that was a fling. You know what I mean? You know, not to be hating on anybody, but you know when a sister graduate, got a doctorate and all that, they ain't messing with nobody that look average. And she definitely was a good looking sister. So I don't really see her. I don't really see her. And like I said, not to speculate, but we gonna speculate. We gonna do our alleges and everything. But leave a comment below if you want to chime in. Let me know in the comments. I don't really see her having a relationship with this dude or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe all I could say is she probably got him fired in some capacity. They probably had an argument about something. But why would you come back and shoot somebody? It's diabolical. Now, speaking of diabolical, this is definitely diabolical, right? Now, I'm in Philly, and several occasions this year, no, maybe a little bit of last year, but the last couple years, I feel like the last couple years, it's been a lot of shootings on the buses, or bust, whatever you want to call it, on multiple buses, whatever way you want to cut the cake. It's been multiple shootings on the bus. Now, the messed up side about this is Philly is a big city. You people, if you don't have a car, you had to get the bus to work. So that's the messed up thing about it. Either way you cut the cake, you can get like Lyft or Uber, or you could get the bus. Now, this right here would definitely, I don't have children, but I definitely, knowing that people are shooting on a bus multiple times, I would definitely put my child if they can't walk to the school bus, I definitely would do like Lyft and Uber, and and that has its flaws too. But shooting on the bus is crazy, even for Philly. The last 2 or 3 years, there's been more shootings on the bus. Now, obviously, this is Philly. We always have shootings, but to me, there's been more shootings on the bus, which is that's wild and crazy. Even for Philly, that's wild. It's like you got to realize shooting on a bus is literally a terroristic threat type of thing. You know what I mean? It's a terrorist act, if you want to say that. So it's a terrorist act. That's wild. So let me make sure I'm on the right screen. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, this is wild to me, yo. Even being from Philly for years, we haven't seen this like that.
Is on for a man in Philadelphia. Philadelphia police say shot 4 people, including 3 teenagers, and it all happened on a crowded bus. Thanks for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Johnny Archer. Police gave us an update just as we got off the air at 6 o'clock. They tell us the bus was full of people and just down the street from the Philadelphia Zoo when the shooting happened. NBC 10's Lili Zhang has been speaking with detectives and passengers about what happened.
For our Saturday, Philadelphia police, as well as SEPTA authorities, were in the area of 33rd and Girard trying to figure out exactly what happened on bus 15, how a routine bus ride was gunfire.
34th and Girard. She added like 10 R's on that joint.
Stopped in the middle of the road on 33rd and Girard Saturday evening. A SEPTA bus is empty. No passengers, just city and regional authorities.
There are 10 shell casings on the bus that we have found thus far.
Inspector D.F. Pace with the Philadelphia Police Department confirms it was this bus where 3 teenage boys between 14 and 16 were shot around 6:30, allegedly by another passenger, a man possibly in his 40s.
One was shot in the back, one was shot in the hand, and one was shot.
Now I didn't know these details. That's why we're doing Hood Action News. Now, this is this. So the man was in his 40s, and it was a bunch of teenagers, right? So you pretty much know what happened there. Like they probably were talking trash to him, and they just talked to the wrong axe murderer old head, right? But listen, when you have a gun, let me put the camera on me. Put the camera on me, goddammit. When you have a gun, even though it may seem like self-defense, if you shoot in public around a lot of people, you're still going to go to jail for public endangerment. So I'm going to repeat this. If you have a gun and you shoot it in broad daylight around a lot of people, you're still going to get booked for public endangerment, and they might book you if you can't prove this self-defense, which for young dudes. And on top of that, if these dudes weren't, if the kids weren't armed, let's say that, not even dudes, if the kids aren't armed, you're still, if you can't prove that they were trying to, basically, if you can't prove that these little kids try to rob you, you're going to get like endangering minors. So you're going to go to jail for endangering minors, right? Let's just say they lived, right? So I'm trying to find out, did they live or not? Endangering minors, and you're going to get the public endangerment charge. So I don't know how many years that is. You could do your lawyer Googles on that. You know what I mean? But you gotta be mindful when you got a gun. You gotta be 100% mindful. So let's see what happened with the rest of the story.
Shot in the foot. All three, however, are in stable condition at this time.
Inspector Pace says a fourth passenger, a 39-year-old woman, was grazed by a bullet.
Damn.
Pace says it's not clear why the shooter confronted the teen sitting in the back, but noted the Route 15 bus was carrying about 30 people when he opened fire.
Yeah, oh my God. It's horrible.
Damn,
Dasha
yo.
Suhova says she is normally one of those people. She says she takes the bus about 6 times a week.
No, I'm shocked because you never think about those things, yeah, because
Yo. Now I'm gonna tell you what's wild about them interviewing this white woman. This is look. Now I'm gonna tell you, yo, for all of y'all out there that are not from Philly, right? Hold up. This is crazy. Yo, Girard Avenue is in the middle of the hood in West Philly, right? The zoo, the hood is walking distance from the zoo. You walk down the street, and it's basically the beginning of West Philly, right? Her saying that she can't imagine that this could happen is super cat, super cat, like Captain Crunch cat. You know what I mean? Now, she probably never been through this before. She sounds like she's from another country. But you saying that a shootout is crazy in this area that she's in is wild. That's all I wanted to say. Is cat. She's definitely camera capping.
it sounds like something impossible that it won't happen exactly to you, and I don't want to think about it, to be honest.
Pace says police are working with SEPTA, reviewing video. Every SEPTA bus is equipped with several surveillance cameras.
As our leadership has stated in the past, this year has seen a marked decrease in the number of shootings and violence. I understand that that is no consolation to those that are still affected by gun violence. Nonetheless, we are doing absolutely everything we can to ensure the safety of those that are here in the city.
At this hour, Philadelphia authorities are still trying to confirm a motive. They have not made any arrests yet. Reporting in Philadelphia, Lily Zhang, NBC 10 News.
Yo, the motive is some young boys trying to act tough and old head wasn't having it. We know that that's probably the motive allegedly, right? But you like I said, you can't pull out a gun and just shoot around. I don't think people know that you can't pull out that gun. Not unless they have a gun, you can't just pull out and shoot in public. You're gonna get a public endangerment charge, and you're gonna get like endangering minors or something like that. Now, if you walking down the street and four young dudes with masks roll down on you, and there's nobody around, and you pop them, you probably get away with that most likely. But they're going to slap you with. The judge is going to pancake you, old head. Even though old head may be in the right moralistically, somebody trying to run down on you, talking trash to you, something like that. But legally, the judge is going to IHOP his ass. You're going to get the public endangerment charge, and then you're going to get public endangerment, and then you also going to get you're going to get public endangerment, and then you're going to get that malicious and wounding charge. Because the bullet breaks the skin, you're gonna get assault, malicious and wounding. They're gonna pile that up. So if you got a gun, you got to be careful. You got the gun legally. How you shoot the gun is important too. So, like I said, you may have a gun legally, but how you act, where, why, and how you shoot the gun. So you'll have a gun, you get the gun legal, you got your license to carry, but where, how, and why you shoot the gun is going to determine if you go to jail or not. So be careful out here. Definitely be careful. Now, yo, I just wanted to take a couple look at a couple things. This is hoodactionnews.com. Now, let's go over to Detroit. Let's go over to Detroit, Michigan, and see what's going on over there. Let's see what's going on in Detroit. They're not just shooting in Philly, they're shooting everywhere. But like I said, just remember what I said. Yo, if you pull out and shoot that gun around a lot of people, they're gonna give you that public endangerment. They may give you I don't think they'll give you terrorists, but they're gonna give you that public endangerment charge. You can't pull out and shoot a gun around a lot of people. You can't do it. And I don't think people know that. Let's see what's going on in Detroit.
Are dead and a young girl is in the hospital after a shootout between two groups. Fox 2's Dave Kinchin has the latest.
This investigation is very much a fluid one as police try to figure out what sparked the shootout on the city's west side during a warm, very summer-like evening. Police stress all this information is preliminary at this point. This is the scene on Patton Street, just before Midland on Detroit's west side, where 4 were shot and 2 of those victims are dead. Another is in critical condition at a hospital. A 12-year-old girl grazed after taking a shot to the leg. We're told she's going to be fine. Now we are told the dead are a 40-year-old woman and a 37-year-old man. Here's what happened. And again, police say this is very early information, but they say a woman told police her daughter's husband, the suspect in this case, pulled up and started firing at them. The witness's daughter is one of the victims who died. Someone returned fire, wounding the suspect, a 38-year-old man who police say took off from the scene in a car before ending up at Botsford Beaumont Hospital in Farmington Hills for treatment. Detectives say they're looking at 2 separate caliber casings at the scene, meaning a hand.
Yo, so you pull up and shoot somebody and then go to the hospital. You think they're not gonna catch you at the hospital?
Gun and rifle were likely used in the attack. Detroit police have been preparing for a possible uptick in warm weather violence as we get closer to summer. Here's what they say about that.
Under the leadership of Chief Todd Bettison, we are very confident that we have strategies in place to combat violence. We will continue our strategies as the summer goes on, and we caution anyone who uses violence as a way to resolve their conflicts. We will be investigating and we will come to a conclusion.
If you have any information about this shooting on Patton Street, any information at all, you are urged to call Detroit Police. They want to remind you your tips can be made anonymously. At Detroit Police Headquarters, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
Also tonight, East Point police need your help after a man was shot in broad daylight this afternoon. It comes less than a week after a quadruple shooting in that same area. Fox 2's Camille Amiri is on the case.
Friday afternoon, a shooting in East Point.
We don't know why this happened.
What we do know, around 3:30 p.m. on Kelly near 8 Mile, a dark-colored sedan pulled up to this minivan. Police say a person inside the sedan fired several shots into the minivan. The driver crashing his vehicle after being hit by gunfire. Rushed to an area hospital, an open Bible on his dashboard, and a United States Marine Corps ornament hanging from his rearview mirror.
We've been seeing a lot of that often as well, whether it be on the freeways or even in the neighborhoods and the residentials, where it just seems like a random shooting where people just pull up next to a car and open fire.
On Saturday, just yards away, a 19-year-old woman allegedly shot 4 men outside the Foot Locker, killing 2 of them. Police say that was a targeted attack.
It's either a coincidence or at this point.
Year-old woman allegedly shot 4 men outside the Foot Locker, killing 2.
Up next to a car and open fire.
On Saturday, just yards away, a 19-year-old woman allegedly shot 4 men outside the Foot Locker, killing 2 of them. Police say that was a targeted attack.
It's either a coincidence or at this point, I don't want to speculate. We have no suspicions that it's related, but at this time, at this world, all kind of stuff is happening.
Yo, so Detroit is wild. I just want to take a look at that. So, yo, it's your boy Post. I'm going to shut it down for the day. Yo, Definitely wild out here. Definitely be safe. Just doing a short show to get everything moving. We are back. So let me see something. So yo, make sure you like, share, subscribe. But I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to this Philly. What I said about this Philly case, right? That Philly case, the Philly case that I was talking about. When you gotta when you get your license to carry and you think everything's good and all of that, where you shoot, when you shoot, and why you shoot is going to determine whether you go to jail or not in the situation. So you got to have situational awareness when you shoot your gun of why you even pull out the gun, because you can go to jail for even pulling out a gun. So if you could resolve it without even pulling out a gun, I really would. You know what I mean? If you don't really see nobody else, if somebody pulls out a knife and comes after you, you gotta shoot them. Something like that. That's self-defense. You know what I mean? They pulled out a knife, came after you in close quarters, within 15 feet, you pulled out your gun and shot them. That's self-defense. But you cannot pull out a gun if you're in an argument. You can't draw first if you in an argument. You know what I mean? If this person don't pull out nothing, or if they not reaching or nothing like that, you're not really in a threat. You can't lead with your gun, is what I'm trying to say. So you cannot lead with your gun. You know what I'm saying? You can't pull it out. You know what I mean? Pause. So that's just a learning lesson. If you don't know that, when you get that gun, it's a gun. You're gonna feel powerful and all of that, especially y'all dudes that can't fight and all of that. You're gonna feel like you got some type of power, or like you tough, but you cannot lead and pull out that gun for no reason. And then you definitely can't shoot in a crowd full of people. A lot of y'all, y'all know everything, but y'all don't know what y'all need to know. So I'll repeat that again. A lot of y'all dudes know everything, but y'all don't know the stuff y'all need to know. That's why people wind up in jail trying to act tough. But listen, make sure you like, share, subscribe. And this is hoodactionnews.com with your boy Post the Mogul, PTM. And I'm signing off, and I'm Izzo. Holla.